sometimes my... Okay, I can do introductions
Can
now.
you cast solo for a little bit?
Sure, in the
I gotta
bottom
get a
left
few things done.
corner. No problem, Decembers. Thanks for your casting so far.
Alright, I'll be back soon.
In the bottom left corner, on Jagged Star, which is a newer Star Wars map, we'll talk about that in a second. It is formerly from Team Empire, Beastyqt. And in the top right corner, we're gonna have Franscar. They both never played on the map, so they have the same advantage, aka disadvantage. And this was the third place winner of the Star Wars matchmaking. Star Wars map making competition that we had. So it has a basic setup with a main and a natural. It's a rather wide choke to block off, but it's fairly easy to do. And then we're gonna have a potential third base on the high ground here, which is quite wide to defend. And another third base here. The third bases on this map are quite wide to defend, but once you take this one opens up as a good option, which is easier to defend. And then you can try to protect this one and this one. It's a little bit SC2-esque in that regard. And the middle is covered by some high ground. Well, about that question with qualification, how this works. So there's 3 qualifiers, and you don't get qualified just because you're winning a tournament. Actually, well, you probably will, and technically you probably will, but what happens is that each player in the qualifier get a certain amount of points compared to depending on where they finished, as long as they're like finished 12th or higher. And then the combination of all 3 qualifiers and the points you gain from that is determining who the top 8 is. So if you win a qualifier, you get so many points that you're probably gonna get into the finals anyway. But it's pretty much a guarantee. But so even if Franscar, I think, has won a qualifier, he can still play another qualifier just to ensure that he will actually be in the Ladder Cup finals. The Ladder Cup final will be on August 16th and 17th. This is a qualifier for that event. There's going to be the top 8 of all the qualifiers we've had. There's a full overview of all this at our Wikipedia pages. You can see that if you click the link to the bracket under the screen, and you just go to the overview on the top tab in Wikipedia, you'll see which players have how many points. And if it's all, of course, going to change after this tournament today, as some players will gain more points. And I had another train of thought. There's a lot of them now. The trains keep coming in and out of my head all the time now. But we'll talk more about that later, because Beastyqt got his first Reaper out, and it's going to open with a Reaper, which is going to be interesting. It's going to follow up with Elite Reaper training, and this is actually quite interesting because I was actually chatting a little bit with Beastyqt. Oops, sorry about that. Before we started. Okay, my microphone is a little bit low. I'll fix that. But I was chatting a little bit with Beastyqt before we started, and he said he was just gonna make it up, and I talked to him a little bit about the metagame and how things are going on, because I haven't played in a while. So it's interesting to see him respond this way. I'm gonna get my microphone up a little bit higher. I'm gonna do this, which is just not getting my microphone up higher, but lowering the in-game sounds a little bit more on OBS. I think that's the way to do it right now. So we're gonna see Franscar responding with a lot of spine. Well, it's actually one spine call, it's just moving it. But here comes the Elite Reaper chain. It's gonna be done in 1 second. There it is, and the Reapers are big and buff, and they have those mines. I don't know if Franscar was ready for that. Here comes the mines, and he doesn't move his queen away, so he's gonna take some damage on the queen. I think Beastyqt is having a lot of fun using these Reapers. Unfortunately, they do not have the heal anymore, so they are a little bit easier to deal with that way, and the queens are pretty good at scaring them off. Oh, and he's gonna start bombing the hatcheries. That's gonna take forever. They only do 45 damage to those probes, but they're really good at killing drones and probes and SCVs. A fourth Reaper or something, a fifth Reaper gets in there, but he had a bad rally and just got stuck on a... Oh, and the bombs go... No, that was no... Oh, there was a bomb. Those bombs are hard to see. That's been a common complaint. We're gonna try and change that in the next patch so they are more easily visible. So let's see how well Franscar can hold this. There's so many drones here, and he's losing so much mining time. Beastyqt might just take this off of pure harassment. Okay, so bombs go off for now, but they didn't hit anything. He's gonna have to, yes, smart idea to put the spine crawler in the middle line. You should get more queens though to come out. Ooh, more bombs coming out? No, it's not gonna do anything. very well controlled from Franscar in defending this, but he's losing a lot of mining time, and in the meantime, Beastyqt is expanding incredibly safely. He's going straight up towards Starport. I'm not really sure what he's going to do with Starport now. It's going to be for Banshees, perhaps? That could be an interesting transition, actually. Oh, doing some damage to these cocoons, but that doesn't... You're going to need so many points. Yeah, that doesn't help. Oh, he kills Larva, though. That's really smart, actually. Larva is really good to get rid of for the Terran player. I'm trying to like figure out if all my settings are right and everything, but it's just so much happening right now. It's kind of hard to do that while I'm casting because these Reapers are doing so much and I want to get every single bit of it down. Do they have any more? Okay, there's one more mine who's off in the corner. Wow, Franscar is so good at winning. Oh, he lures them into one mine, into the other, but man, Franscar is just keeping them off the mine. He's losing a couple of drones just from the harassment. Actually, in total, he's lost about 13 workers, so that's quite a bit. Here comes the speedlings, but here also comes the vultures with speed, which deal with speedlings really, really well. I actually wrote about this on Artosis's. Artosis wrote how you deal with TVZ, and I said this is an interesting pressure build with Reaper into vultures into Banshee, and maybe that's exactly what Beastyqt is doing. He's actually expanding again. He's gonna get 3 bases, and these Reapers are just doing so much damage when they have that speed. And GG already, and Beastyqt takes the first game.